Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Gemini Scale Model Works video. Hi, I'm Vinny. I don't respond to you guys right away on your comments that you leave on my videos. And I like to get them all at one time, just so I can just sit down one night and just answer to everybody all at one time. But I do read them as soon as I get them. So, with that being said, I had one comment that really was strange to me because the person said that the kit that I am building, which is this guy, the 67 Chevelle, the kit has been bashed. And I don't know why it's been bashed. This kit is probably one of the easiest kits I've done so far. It almost put itself together, to be honest with you. But anyhow, by the end of this video tonight, this car will be almost ready for reveal. I'm not going to show the reveal right away though, because first of all, the 67 Chevelle was a good candidate for a 48-hour group build. I mean, I could have had it done in 48 hours. Today is the 5th of August, and all I have to do is the interior and the car is done. So, with that being said, I'm going to be putting another car into this group build, and that is 65 Chevelle. In case you guys didn't know, I like Chevelles and I like Camaros. I had a 69 Chevelle, but the 65, 66, and 67 were my favorites, and out of those three, the 66 was my favorite. If I have enough time, I will be doing the 66 also. But this will be part of today's video. So, with all that being said, let's get down to the workbench and see what's going on. Bye. Okay, boys and girls, welcome back to the bench. So today we're going to complete the interior, we're going to build a roll cage, and we're going to do some accessories in the engine compartment and all that kind of good stuff. And then we're going to take care of the body a little bit. And we're also going to do a box opening with the 65 Chevelle. So with that being said, as you can see here in the instructions, I have all of that off the sprue. And here it is right here. And here's my shifter primed up, ready for me to be painting it. So, that being said, let's go ahead and assemble this roll cage. Now, I see on here that this is actually thicker than this down here. So I'm assuming that that's some sort of padding right there. It doesn't show it on the instructions, but that's what I'm going to assume. So after I paint this, whatever color I decide, I will paint that like a rubber black. So with that being said, let's do this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this cross member in here. Positive fit, and this is just extra thin, it's not quick set. And they give you two detents on this rear piece over here where these pieces have to line up with. Uh-oh. Maybe I should use the quick set. Well, I'm not going to bore you guys by me holding this, so I will bring you back when this roll cage is together, and then we'll get it ready for paint. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Alright, so now we have a fully assembled roll cage. It's pretty sturdy, if I must say so myself, and as I mentioned earlier, you can see these two detents. Try and get it so you can see it a little bit. Now there's one right there and there's one right there, and the backside of the roll cage sits in there. Now we're going to move on to this page. Everything you see here is already off the sprue and has been painted. So all I need to do now is start assembling stuff. So what I painted, the side panels and this rear piece in here, was with this TS7 Racing White Tamiya. And I'll tell you what, it looks more beige than white to me, but if they want to call it that, I guess it's okay. So what we're going to do, basically, is we're going to put the tub together. Now, these are the factory seats, and these are the seats that I'm going to be using. These are Recaro seats, and the reason I want to use them is because the seatbelt system I'm going to use in this is by Gopher Racing, and I want to do just 4-point setup right here, and these two straps will go through the holes there. You can see those holes, right? Yeah. And attach to the roll cage, just like in the real thing. Whereas in this one, I don't know how close I can get before you can actually see those seat belts in there, but they're like really non-existent. So anyhow, that's what I plan on doing. So with that being said, the roll cage will not get secured in place until I'm ready to do the seats. So, but in the meanwhile, we could put the rest of the tub together. I'm going to go ahead and get this primed and painted, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, boys and girls, we are back at the bench, and I'll show you what I have accomplished. You can see that I have the tub pretty much complete. I didn't do anything to the door panels because this is a race car, and I would think that they would do the very bare minimum to make the inside look pretty. But I am going to do a little bit to it, as you'll see here in a few minutes. So, we'll put that on the side for now, and I am going to be installing the firewall. The firewall I painted in that Rust-Oleum metallic finish. I thought a little bit of extra shiny stuff in the engine compartment would be pretty cool. I'm going to mount and paint the master cylinder and the power brake booster, and I'm going to mount the heater assembly. Then I'm going to put this in the car. As for the seats, I'm going to use only one seat. Like I said, this is a race car. So, I'm just going to do one of these seats. The inside will be the same color as the rest of the interior. The outside here will be all black. Now, the dashboard, that's as far as I'm going to go with the dashboard. I looked at a couple of pictures. I just can't, I'm not good enough to get in there to do some of the detailing. Let me pull this out. Some of the detailing on the face gauge itself. So I'm going to let that go. The chrome that I use up here is also what I used on the spokes for the steering wheel. So that all matches, and then on the brake pedals I did the rubber black on all three pedals. Alright, so the roll bar is complete. And like I said, I would paint this part black, which I did. And I painted that with the rubber black actually. And that fits in the car very, very nicely. Almost like it was made for it. So, let me show you what's going to go on with the seats. I showed you earlier that I was going to do this gopher seatbelt kit. And this is a complete kit with shoulder harnesses and all of that good stuff. And this kit can do two. But I'm only going to do one seat. Now I already did one, and it's really not that hard. The hardest part is getting the parts off of the sprue. So let me show you what I have here. Maybe I should show it on this. This is my version of the first strap as far as this picture goes. So that would be this one right here. So it would be like that. Now, this, according to what I read, pre-certain year, the end of the seatbelt is bolted to the roll cage, and after that date it gets wrapped around the roll cage. Why, I don't know. Anyhow, as you can see, at the top here is where there would be a bolt. This would be an adjustment, this would be an adjustment, and then this would be the clip that goes into the receptacle. I had to build one more like that, and then a receptacle and a plug for the lap belt. So this will go through here like that. It will get, let's see, once it goes through the seat, I'll see where it lands up on the roll bar, and then it will just get glued in place, and then the rest of it would just get glued down to the seat. So that's the intentions right now. Now, one more thing before I get on to actually building these guys. It doesn't take long, it's just tedious. And I found out one trick, and I'll tell you that trick here when we start doing this. Anyhow, the body has had a second coat and a couple of wet sands, and to tell you the truth, I'm not really happy with it. I don't know if you guys can see what's on the trunk deck. I don't like what's on the trunk deck, and some of that's on the roof. So I am debating whether or not to totally strip this car and start over again. Like, I get up there, and first of all, you see there's a couple of scratches in there, which I don't know how they got there. And then you can see the fuzziness around the light, which is not so bad on the roof section. But on the hood, it's the same thing. So I don't know. I'll think about it. With all that being said, stay tuned. We'll be back in a little bit. Okay, boys and girls, what you're looking at now is the completed seatbelt, which goes over the driver's left shoulder. And it is important to get this little guy down here on the right shoulder to face inboard, to face each other. So the way I do this is, and I learned this trick from doing some of this kind of stuff on my model railroad. Whenever you get a fabric like this and you're going to cut it, it's going to fray. So what I did was I coated the entire length of this ribbon, I guess you want to call it, with hairspray. Cheap hairspray. And I can cut it and maybe get one or two tries before it'll start fraying again. So you get a couple of tries to get it through the holes on the parts that you need to do. So, with that being said, I'm going to try and do this on camera. I don't know how well it's going to work out because these parts are really tiny. I can hold you. See, and there's still parts of the sprue on there that I need to get off, and I just can't cut them if they don't work right. So, let me put my extra eyeballs on. And so, what we'll do is we'll go through the back. And once you get through the back, kind of fold it over. And there's a little spacer bar in there, so you need to go around that little spacer bar and make sure you're not kinked when you go through there. But stick it and go through there. If you're lucky, you'll get it before it starts to fray. But it's no big deal if it does fray, you just cut it back. See, this one's starting to fray already. You're going to pull this taut, so it doesn't matter how much you got out on this side right now. Okay, it's fraying, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut just a little bit off the end. Oh, did I lose my piece? No, there it is. Get a nice clean cut when you do cut. Alright, come on up here, you. Alright. See, once it's cut and it's got a nice clean edge, it should just go right through. And it does, but this is also starting to fray on me too. Alright, we gotta cut some more. Sorry guys, it worked out perfect off camera. Okay, boys and girls, we are back at the workbench, and as you can see, I got my seat belts and my shoulder harnesses and all of that good stuff all put together. I did paint the outside frame of the seats in black, semi-gloss black. And now, these guys, how they'll work is, it'll go through here, like this, maybe. Come on. There you go. When I'm ready, it will get glued down. Now, I see from this picture here that this adjustment could be on the outside here, so I may have to make an adjustment there. These do move, or you got to kind of shimmy them to move. Anyhow, that's how that would be. And then the second one would go there, and then this side here, once it's in the car, will attach to the roll cage. So, right now, I am as far as I am going to go on this model because, like I said, really put the seat in, put the roll bar in, mount the engine in, and a couple odds and ends on the body, and we're done. But I do want to show you, I did make some progress with the body. I want to show it to you guys. I don't think I'm going to get away with what I'm trying to do here. Anyhow, I did a little bit more wet sanding on here, and as you can see, I got the hood, the trunk deck, and the roof looking pretty good. I got most of those scratches out of the trunk. The hood looks really good. But rubbing really hard on this, I kind of took the paint off around here and around the Super Sport back there, and then the flags up here. So at bare minimum, I think I have to paint the two sides. You can see, just from doing the wet sanding, all of this that came off on the door handle up here, blah, blah, blah. So at bare minimum, I got to repaint the sides. So with that being said, I'm going to put this over here, and I will give you a quick look at the interior of what it will look like, minus the seat belts. Now, mind you, I had the firewall in there, but it's not secured. So, this is what, let's see, let's do a side shot. So that's what the interior would look like. I go look around and see if there's some sort of decals for the gauges on this instrument cluster. Anyhow, I'm going to put this on the side because, as you can see, basically put the interior together, put the body on, and we got this car finished. So, that being said, stay tuned because we're going to do an unboxing of the sister car that's going to be in this group build, and that is the 60. I'm confused. Some of the manufacturers call it a 64, some of them call it 65. I am going to call it a 64, and it's going to be a 64 Chevelle. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, boys and girls, this is going to be the next build that's going to be involved in the under 1,000 group build. This is a 64 Chevelle or Malibu, whatever you want to call it, and it is a Super Boss funny car. Yeah, and it's an AMT product, and it is 1/25th scale. They're calling it a Chevelle 427 fully blown drag car. Same thing on the side. Looks like they gave you some fancy seats and stuff. Grill. Looks like fancy wheels. Blower. And all good there. The screw mat. When I opened this box, I didn't take anything out of the plastic yet. I did not see the decals. So, I'm going to have to look into that. Anyhow, let's see what's in the box. And they're calling this a 475 cubic inch engine. Alright, I like it. So, don't matter how much room you got on your work area, you always need more. Alright, funny car Chevelle. This is the instructions. And that is it. Let me back this out a bit. There you go. This is the instructions, guys. Front page is the engine, interior, glass in the body, and then the rest of the car. Bada bing. Done. Alright. No paraphernalia we don't need. Here's my windshield and side vent windows. Look pretty good. Rear lights. Here's what I want to see. I want to see the body. And we're going to open this guy up. Maybe. I already know, or I have an idea of what color I'm going to paint this car. So. Looks pretty good. I think it's going to be nice. I'm going to try and do I don't know if you would really want to call it, but I'm going to do a whole bunch of builds on Chevelles. I'm starting with this one, which is a 64 up to the 69. And this bag, I might as well just open them because I'm going to start building this thing. Alright, we got headers. These look like they might be some sort of exhaust pipes. And looks like part of a roll cage here. Engine, blower, belt assembly, starter, parachute, wheel inserts, traction bars. What a chintzy drive shaft. And look, they give you these wheelie bars, the wheelie wheels. Alright, next. You know, AMT, they don't tell you like Chevelle tells you how many parts are in the kit. The AMT so far I have not seen that, so I guess that's okay. Alright, what do we got here? We got a chassis. I like these open chassis. It's much easier to detail them. So, no. Really? I think I'm dreaming. And I don't know what those holes are for, but if those are spark plug holes, no, it can't be. That has to be exhaust. I guess I'll find out as I build this thing. Alright, what do we got here? Interior tub, rear differential and springs. Hood with the hood hole already cut out. That's cool. Very, 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 very clean dashboard. 3 gauges and done. Driver's seat, only 1 seat. And here's my chrome stuff. Moon tank, front cover. Looks like front spring assembly. Yeah, I won't take it out of the bag. And then, finally, we got some tires. Real skinny, small tires for the front. And some decent sized slicks for the rear. And they do have printing on them, but it's really tiny. You can't see it, but it's there. Alright, so with all of this being said, this looks like it's going to be another fun build. So I'm going to call this video good for now. And as always, your questions, comments, inputs, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. Gemini Scale Model Works out for now. Bye.